Hello everyone, this is Brother Poole. I'm excited to have you join me this semester for Marketing 250 Web Business Creation. I want it to be a wonderful semester and I want you all to end up with an A. My goal is one semester, I want everybody in the class to earn an A grade. At that point, I'm sure we'll all be translated and go up to the city of Enoch because odds are that's not going to happen, and if so, we're ready to be translated. But I do give a tremendous number of A's in this class. It's a great class. It's a class to where you can definitely get an A. Everybody has an opportunity to get an A. However, it takes a lot of work to do it and a lot of hours dedicated to this to get that A. But you can do that. The nice thing is there are not a lot of big tests and exams in this class. The reason is because what we're going to be learning is actual real world knowledge and skills. So we will be learning about, for example, Google Ads. You'll actually go and create a Google Ads account, use your own money, and run a Google Ads account specifically for something that we're going to be doing in the class. So these are real world skills. So there's not a lot of things you have to memorize on that. Instead, you have to just do the work. And so because of that, there is a lot of work, a lot of assignments in this class, but they all build one on another. And if you will walk through it with me and with the class, you can be successful. However, I will warn you, if this is a class that you've added because you thought that it looked like an easy class that you could just do online, maybe come spend an hour or two a week on it, this is not that class. You picked the wrong class. This class is going to take a tremendous amount of work. You will be putting in the full amount of time that they ask of you for an online course. You will be putting in all of that time into this class. So this is not one where you're going to come for an hour a week and do well. If you do that, you will not pass this course. So if you're looking for a class that only just looking for an easy A, this isn't it. Okay, so I would love to have you stay. I'd love to have you be here, but I want to make sure that you understand what this course is and what this course isn't. Now, with that being said, this course is amazing. And there have been people out there that have gotten jobs specifically because of this class. Okay, so this is a great, very useful course to help you gain and understand how the world works today with online business. Okay, so this is a great class. It's highly valuable, but it is going to take a lot of work on your part. Well, let's run through a couple things here real quick because I want to try. My goal is to make sure that everybody has the opportunity to get an A. Then it's up to you to choose whether or not you're going to accept that opportunity, take it on, and be successful. I cannot give you a grade other than what you've earned, but I can try to provide the opportunity for you to be able to go through and do this. All right, so first off, announcements will be critical. There will be a weekly announcement each week, plus sometimes I'll be adding announcements throughout the week. These are critical, okay? Please, please, please read them and please watch the videos I have attached to them. There is a specific reason that either is going to help you know exactly what you have to do to be able to get an A in a major assignment or a project. It may help explain, give you more information so that you can be successful. Or there may be a change in an assignment that had to be made because Google changed something on their site. And all of that type of information will be announced, will be put into the announcement section. Therefore, you will be held accountable to know and understand all of the things in the announcements, regardless of whether you read them or not. So if you don't read them, that's fine, but you're still going to be held accountable as if you had read them. Okay, so make sure that you do read that. Now, first off, I want to explain, because I get this with some students every semester, this is not an independent study course. An independent study course is where they give all the material up front and then you just have to have it done by a certain date. That is not the case with this. This course is not set up to allow you to be able to work ahead. For example, you are only able to do assignments in the week that you're working and sometimes that next week. We don't allow people to really go out and work far ahead, and there's a lot of reasons for that in this class. But just know that there are a lot of assignments due weekly, and usually 3 times a week. If you are late, I take a 0.12% per hour deduction off the top for late work. Okay? And no late work will be accepted after 7 days. Now, the exception for this is discussion boards. There are no late work accepted on discussion boards, period. Okay? You cannot post something on a discussion board after it's closed, after the due date, and get credit for it. The reason for that is it's effectively like walking into a classroom after everybody has left and making a comment. It's not valuable because there's nobody there to be able to be uplifted and get that value from your comment because everybody's already left. And so there is no late work there's no late acceptance on discussion boards after the due date. However, most of the other things you can turn in up to 7 days late. I used to do it to where it was a 3% per day deduction up to 7 days. And let's see, and then Canvas changed their settings and allowed us to be able to set up an hourly deduction. I like that a lot better because that way if somebody turns in something an hour late, they're only going to have 0.12% deducted from their grade instead of the full 3% per day deducted from the grade. So that's why I have it set up that way. This is a hands-on course that closely follows the BYU-Idaho learning model of preparation, teaching one another, ponder, and proving. The great news about this course is it does not require one of those $150 textbooks. I unfortunately have bought many of those very expensive textbooks over my college career, and it's no fun, but it is usually what you just kind of expect. So the great news is this does not have a textbook. However, you will still be required to complete the course projects, which include items such as buying a domain name, getting a host provider, building a website, creating and running a Google Ads campaign. The cost of all of this will run about $100 US. Okay, so you need to understand up front that this class is going to cost you $100 US. I don't want to get to I think it's week 10 when we actually start running a Google AdWords account and you say at that point, oh, but I don't have any money. Well, I understand that, but you have to be able to do the work that costs about $100 in this class. That's what you're going to be graded on. So it's like taking a class where you're building a table in the class, and that's going to be your final project, but you come in the last day and you don't have a table to turn in. You tell them you've learned about the table, but you just didn't have any money to buy the wood to make the table, but he should give you full credit because it would have been an awesome table, right? It doesn't work that way. You have to actually build the table. In this case, you actually have to run a Google Ads account. Campaign and spend money. You have to build your website and get a host provider and so on and so forth. So there are costs involved that you need to be aware of. Weekly discussion boards. You will not, let's see, okay, you will not see your classmates' replies until you have made your initial post. When you go to the weekly discussion and you go to submit your post, you will notice you won't see any other students' comments or posts or anything. The reason is they're all hidden until you make your initial post. We want to know what your thoughts are. We don't want to know what your thoughts are based off of other people's thoughts on that in the class. All right, so that initial post, I want you to write it based on the information you're given in the instructions. Once you've submitted it, then you'll see everybody's posts, and then you'll be able to make the 2 comments that you need to be making on classmate posts. When you talk with classmates, please be respectful when agreeing or disagreeing. If you want to disagree, that's great. Disagreement is wonderful because that sparks discussion and creativity and exploration. That's wonderful. However, there's a right and a wrong way to do that. Don't just go around saying, I disagree with you, and that's it. If you want to disagrray with somebody, great. Just say, I disagree, or I don't feel the same way on that because, and then you need to be able to explain why you disagree. Don't just disagree to disagree. Disagree and explain why you disagree. All right, next, you need to use correct English and not texting abbreviations such as LOL. I am not talking about making sure that your English is perfect, that all the assignments have exactly, the correct sentence structure and that you use your adjectives and your pronouns and all of that correctly. No, that's not what I'm talking about. All I'm talking about is just in your papers and that you're writing, please spell everything out. This is a university level course, and the expectations are more than what you would be doing in like a high school situation. So just make sure that you use correct English words. You don't abbreviate using texting abbreviations, things like that. However, I love smiley faces. I probably use them too much, but I like smiley faces. So please feel free to use them if you wish. That is just fine. All right, I want to explain how I'm going to grade the discussion boards. Your first post on a discussion board is required 2 days before it's due. So if a discussion board is due on a Thursday, your first post must be made Tuesday. If the discussion board is due on Saturday, your first post must be made by Thursday. If not, you will receive a 10% penalty right off the top. So to get 100%, you must make your initial post and comment on at least 2 classmate posts. To get 66%, that would be initial post and comment on only 1 post. 33% is your post only, and 0 is no post or post that distracts from the conversation, such as posts where somebody's being mean or I don't know, just not writing a good post. I've only had that happen once in 8 years. I don't expect it to happen, but I just put that in there so that everyone's aware. Again, late work. The grade book will show 0% in your grade book slot the instant the assignment and any assignment becomes late. So as soon as an assignment becomes late and you have not submitted it, you will show a 0 as your grade for that assignment. Even if you then submit the assignment, it will still show a 0 until I go in and grade it. Okay, I will go in and grade it, and once I do that, the correct grade will appear. Otherwise, until that happens, it will show a 0. So be aware of that. Now, also, with that being said, hold on. I was trying to think what I was going to say. Let me mention this way. Canvas also has a limitation. I'm trying to figure out how to work around it, but I can't. That has to do with comments on a assignment. If you do not get 100% on an assignment, I will always leave comments. So if you're showing a 0 and you're not sure if you really got a 0, go look to see if there's comments. If there's comments that tell you why you got a 0, well then yes, that's what your grade was. Otherwise, if there's no comments, that just means I haven't graded it yet. With that being said, understand that if you respond to my comments in the comments section on the assignment, it does not tell me that you did that. And I will probably never see your question or your comment on my comment. So if you have a question on any feedback that I leave you for a grade, please reach out to me using the messaging system, the inbox system there in Canvas, and not just simply respond, because if you respond there, I won't see it. So just to kind of let you know that. All right, as we know, there's a 0.12% per hour deduction off the top for late work. Work will not be accepted later than 7 days past the due date. And there is no late work accepted for discussion boards. The only exception is for medical emergency, family tragedies, or natural disasters. One more that I will add is for civil unrest. We had some situations the last semester or two where some of our students in other countries, such as Haiti, they got into a very violent and scary situation in their country to where pretty much for their own safety, everybody had to just stay inside. Those kind of situations I will work with you on. So when it's safe to do so, get a hold of me and let's figure out what we have to do. But just so you're aware. Now, on a medical emergency, the flu, a cold, a headache, those are not medical emergencies. They're annoying, but they're not a medical emergency. A medical emergency is something you have to run to the doctor for, to the emergency room, to the hospital for. A broken arm or appendicitis, you have to have appendix out, or you've been in a car crash and you have some different issues, whatever that be, those are medical emergencies. So don't ask for help because you've had a really bad cold. That's just miserable. I hate that. In fact, I have a cold right now. However, life still has to move on, and we still have to do what's being expected of us. However, if it is a medical emergency, please contact me as soon as you can, as soon as it's safe to do so, and I will work with you on that. Okay, some traps I see students fall into is they miss the easy points, such as they don't turn in the assignments on time, or they just don't even turn them in at all. Besides that, they miss the discussion boards or the weekly reflection reports. These are not hard assignments. They probably take, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes each. Just do them. Get the points. If you don't get the points, yeah, they're not worth a lot until you don't do a bunch of them. And then suddenly, yes, you've lost a lot of points. So it's important. Most of the Excel workbooks that we're going to be working with have multiple sheets. Don't just do the first tab. When we're working with a workbook, make sure to look and see all the sheets that are there, all the tabs along the bottom, and do each one of the tabs. Projects are very important, so never miss a project. They are worth a tremendous amount of points. And if you miss them, it will severely affect your grade. Now, this class is going to be like a marriage. We need to manage our expectations. When I got married when I was 32, once me and my wife started having our house together, I realized that my wife had no idea how to load a dishwasher or how to put dishes away or a number of other things because she was doing it all wrong. Well, my wife, I'm sure, was thinking the exact same thing about me. And it was because we all develop our own ways of doing things. And when they don't do it the way that we have always done it, well, then it just seems like something's wrong. With that being said, you have one of two choices. You can either just be mad for a long, long time, and which could lead to very bad things such as divorce and such, or change your expectation. Say to yourself, it's okay if she loads the dishwasher different. As long as everything's getting done, it doesn't matter. In fact, maybe she can teach you the right way to do it. Maybe you've been doing it wrong all the time, right? It's all about managing expectations. So let's talk about a few expectations that you should be able to have of me. My goal is to answer all emails within 24 hours, but it will likely not be the same day. So if an assignment is due on Tuesday, don't email me Tuesday and then be mad if I answer you on Wednesday because it's now late. Yes, the assignment's late, but I tell you, I will try to answer within 24 hours. Now, sometimes it may be much, much quicker than that. And that I would love to answer them all within a few hours, but odds are that will not happen. And so you need to know that my goal is to try to get you an answer within 24 hours. Also, this is not a religion course, so it's kind of hard to bring the spirit into it. So one of the things that I do, and I try to do, on each weekly announcement, I try to add a little clip or a little section about the gospel. A little thought, a link to a very short video from the church, a link to a conference talk, whatever it is. If you have a second, please take a look at that. It's important for us to understand and remember the big picture. The big picture is the love we have for our Heavenly Father, eternal life, and returning to live back with Him, with our families. And this is a good step on the way of it. but we don't want to lose track of that. And it's hard because we don't study the scriptures in this class. This is a business class, and we just don't spend a lot of time on religion in this class. So I try to add a little piece in each weekly announcement. So just please, if you have a minute, take a look at those. Now, also, expectations. Understand and know that you will have a lot of assignments and discussions and projects to do, okay? And you will have to spend up to $100 US dollars in this course. Now, I don't know if I mentioned this before, so let me mention this now. If you live in a country where 100 US dollars is an exorbitant amount, in other words, 3 months salary is about 100 US dollars. I do not want you trying to decide whether you pay for this class or feed your family. That is not appropriate, okay, if you're living in one of those countries. I have some possible options that we can work on and some alternatives. However, they are only available to students that live in these countries to where 100 US dollars is a tremendous amount of money. All right. If you live in one of the countries to where, $100 it's a lot of money, but it's doable. People can do it, or they can have access to financial aid, different things like that. You're going to need to do it. So, for example, the U.S. and Canada, if you're in the U.S. or Canada, you're going to have to spend $100. There is no alternatives. I understand being a broke college student. I understand being an incredibly broke college student. I was that for many, many years. So I understand $100 is a lot. But that's why I'm telling you right up front and making sure you understand that this course requires that $100. So if you do not have it, you will likely need to either get somebody that can help you with that money, or you may want to look at another class, because if you do not do that, if you do not spend the money in this class, you will get a very bad grade and likely not a passing grade. Again, if you're in a situation in one of these countries to where 100 US dollars is a tremendous amount of money, I need you to please reach out to me and let's talk through some alternatives. All right, well, let's see. Oh, the last thing is, a lot of you, this may be your first class, online instructor class, or first class with an online instructor. So let me tell you about online instructors. Most of us are part-time, okay? We don't work on campus for the most part. Most of us have another full-time job. I actually have a few other jobs, full-time job and a couple of side gigs plus this. So I'm quite busy. Most of us have church callings and have families to take care, and therefore we are very busy. However, we love teaching and helping students. Now, I also want to acknowledge, I understand that most of you also have full-time jobs, also have church callings and families to take care of, and that you are very busy. And I honor and I respect you for that. Okay? I know what it's like to try to go through school, work full-time, do schooling all night, and try to take care of your special needs children at the same time. Okay, I understand it's hard, it's difficult, it's challenging, but it's worth it. And the fact that you're taking the time to do this, to come back to school, or to get this schooling done, to get a degree, I honor you for that. That is wonderful. And congratulations for taking that step. That's wonderful. All right. Well, thanks so much. I'm looking forward to spending the time with you this semester. And it's going to be great. Watch the announcements, and let's have a lot of fun. All right. Talk to you later. Bye.